Another one lately, now I see Tony up the back here, and I went to a workshop with Tony, had Mark Queenie there. Now Mark Queenie taught me something early on in the workshop, was there for 2 days, was the whence and the sense. Now the whence are people that have come here. So you've all come here today by your own accord? Yes. So you went here by your own accord. There's other ones called the sense, which was sent there by winds, sent there by their mothers, sent there by their fathers, whatever. They're the hardest to teach. You've got to try and work on getting your students or your learners to become whence. And this way is a better way of finding out, to build on their knowledge. I was talking earlier on to somebody at the break about half the time with older people, you're undoing their learning, where the youth you can put on top. Now, when I've got somebody that started, and I can remember a woman, she was 59, and she was so caught up on knowing all of the formulas, the theories and everything, the maths behind it, than actually doing the job. Now the doing the job is using your hands on, your point of reference. What does an inch look like when you're talking to somebody? Nobody really knows, but for a builder, he knows that that's an inch there, or his mobile phone is an inch. You're talking to the young ones now and you say, 4x2, what's 4x2? That they know what 4x2 is. But if you say 4 inches, which is 4 mobile phones wide, by 2 that way, that's their point of reference. Another one is that when he's got this in his pocket and he needs to mark out 350 millimetres. He knows that his hammer is 350 millimetres long. He doesn't have to second guess himself by getting out his ruler and everything. That won't lie. That won't ever lie, because he knows it's 350 millimetres. And on the back of that, every good carpenter has a thing called a story rod, because it tells a story, but also at the start of the job, they will go and mark out everywhere in the room, say what your height of your table is. That's marked on there. Your window height, your everything. This is normally that long, but I couldn't take it in the plane. But it will have a story rod. So he only ever has to do his maths once at the start of the job, and then you don't make muck-ups. So if he had to mark out 94 millimetres at the moment, he knows 94 millimetres is his block of wood. So if the plan said 5, or how many I've got here? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 94s. Can he do the maths in his head? No, he can't. But he can physically lay his 94s out there. 4 lots of 94 is there. Then he'll do it on the calculator, because Bob's a bit older. Then he'll do it on the calculator to add it up to make sure it's there. So there's his reasonableness there. Is it sort of making sense for you? Another one that Bob learnt years ago is and you might want to take this away because Bob had off. A colleague and I have been working on this for 4 years, and it's called our flat C. We call it our big F, flat C. Now this, let's get rid of this, the flat stands for F. So if you do this as a builder, or if you're any trade base, your F starts for formula. Your S stands for substitution. Your E is equation. And your A is your answer. So Bob is trying to do some concrete work, and he knows his formula because it's one. He knows his length times width times height. So then that's your formula. Now that could be anything there. He's got it in the back of his toolbox or on his card, whatever the formula is. It doesn't matter. It could be how many cups of to make coffee. But then you put your substitution. So you might substitute your letters for your numbers. 20 times 40 times 50. I'm not going to do the maths because I can't do it in my head. Then you actually do the equation. Now, we're giving the guys lately 1 mark for getting the answer, 2 marks for the actual equation. So however you're going to do the maths, now he might physically get his 20 millimetres there and then add it, times it by the 40. However he does the equation isn't the real big thing. But you do the equation, then you come through to the answer. So we've been working on that as long as they can go back there and just do those 4 steps. You could even call them the 4 steps if you like. You seem to find out where they go wrong. and they normally go wrong in here, or it might be that they've got their formula wrong. But when you see them, a piece of paper come on, and when I say see them, the learners have done it, you can't normally see where they've done it wrong, but if they follow those steps. So anyway, Bob calls it his flat C method, and that seems to work.